Hello everyone, I'm Christina, and this is my art journey in pattern design, illustration, and lettering. Welcome to Make Something Small. This is my calendar update realization. I still like this artwork, but it wasn't right for a calendar. Today I'm going to walk through why that's true. This isn't a mistake, it's a learning moment, and I'm going to share what I'm going to do differently now. So what I was aiming for was the keyword butterfly. When I started on this calendar, I wasn't guessing or rushing. I had a clear intention. I wanted something that felt light, spring-like, calm, decorative, and gentle. And I chose the doodles because they were a skill that I already had. They were familiar. They let me focus on finishing a product instead of getting stuck trying to learn everything at once. So I wasn't cutting corners or not caring. I did my research on the keyword, and I worked with the skills that I could handle at the time. And at that stage, finishing mattered more than perfection. So why it didn't work is because of the format. Calendars are meant to be seen from a distance. Most of the time you're not right up on top of them. You're across the room. When you step back, the grid competes with the artwork, and any kind of fine detail inside of the silhouette will disappear. Up close, I still love this. The line work and the little shapes, it is so satisfying. But from across the room, everything flattens, and the calendar format doesn't reward that kind of detail. It's not bad art, it just means that the product wasn't right. So what I would do instead, if I was designing this calendar now, I wouldn't start with a container like a silhouette at all. I would start with scenes. Meadows, wildflowers, open space. Butterflies aren't holding the art, they're moving through it. The doodles don't disappear, and they become grass, textures, and flowers, and movement. So this is a version of what I'm kind of talking about. Showing a wildflower meadow, or wildflowers put together in a meadow scene with the butterflies. So this art wasn't wasted. Where does this art work? So I made a couple of patterns over the weekend using this art. I took some of the doodles, and here are a couple of the different patterns. Well, it's the same pattern with different colors. I made the two patterns, and I made some stickers. And this works on the stickers and on some mugs. It's the small scale products where people do see it close. The detail is the feature on this, and it's not a problem. So instead of forcing this art to be something that it wasn't, I can just put it where it belongs. I use the doodles to make something new, and when the doodles stand on their own, they become stronger. So I didn't abandon the art that I worked on for weeks. I'm just evolving it into something else. So what does this mean going forward with what I'm working on now? I am working on a new pattern collection, Winter Without Snow, but I'm also going to use this to make another calendar, but with scenes, not a pattern, and not just random placement. And these are examples of what I'm going to be using to make those scenes. I'm going to be using my motifs as well as new art that I'll be drawing in order to make these scenes in Procreate. I'm thinking about the scale from the beginning. How will it live on a wall, and not just how it looks on my iPad? I couldn't have made this shift without it. The calendar project taught me something important. I need to make sure that my art is where it belongs. I'm finally going to get better at that. And maybe my next calendar will be one that sells and that looks well. I've learned a lesson. I've learned some new skills. And that's what matters.